Listen to the Vibes.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Listen to the Vibes. And I'm very happy to welcome Amita Sharma here. And she is a holistic wellness advocate. And we're going to get to know her and have a great conversation. So, Amita, tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yes, you absolutely said holistic health advocate. I am, I've been working in tech industry for the last 20 plus years, and due to some embarrassing moments that I had during my journey going through perimenopause, which is considered a taboo topic, well, not now, I decided to focus only on women's wellness, and specifically mid-age women wellness. So here I am. I created a holistic wellness platform for women called NourishDoc.
Well, I don't want to embarrass my wife, but I mean, she is starting to go through that part of her life. And I don't know, sometimes her moods are kind of thrown off and she'll just feel blah, and the hot flashes, all that kind of stuff. What all can I expect so I can maybe accommodate for her a little better?
Yeah, you're doing a great thing by interviewing me, right? So what your wife is going through, hot flashes, you talked about that. It's one of the most common symptoms a perimenopause woman will go through, depending on which stage she is during her journey. Just to give a little bit of a context before I jump into the symptom that your wife is going through. Perimenopause is a stage that's leading to menopause, right? So menopause typically happens to majority of the women in early 50s, 51, 52, somewhere over there. But perimenopause can start as early as 10 years before a woman hits menopause, which is 10 years, like 40 something. Or even younger women nowadays, mid 30s, can also start experiencing perimenopause. So the thing that you're talking about, the hot flashes and even the mood swings are happening. It could start in as early as in perimenopause or continue through menopause because of the hormone fluctuation her body is going through. So she can't help it, unfortunately. Well, but what she can do is change her lifestyle and make some modifications to her lifestyle to live embracing a holistic therapies. That she can do. But these are common symptoms: hot flashes, mood swings. Sometimes she's suddenly angry. She could be having an anger, or she could be very emotional. She could cry, or she could be very joyful. She could be like, "Oh my God!" So this happens to most of the women, as I said earlier. But they can, by incorporating a holistic lifestyle or embracing holistic therapies, they can improve this navigation through the journey.
So what would be some of these, like a exercise, diet, that kind of thing?
Yes, yes, but it's not just exercise and diet. It's a lot of things that come together. It's the mind and the body, right? It's not just only taking care of your physical health through nutrition or through your exercise, but also taking care of your mindset, having positive thoughts, relaxing, letting go of the stress a little bit. All that combined together that women can do, getting rid of. I'll just give a few examples. Getting the diet that is more whole grains. We've heard so much about it. Incorporating enough protein, incorporating enough healthy fats, or even some complex carbohydrates. Exercising, meaning having some kind of like a mindfulness, calming herself with breathing exercises, that'll calm her down, to calm her nervous system down. Also, a little bit of mindfulness, even some journaling, walking, in like a greenery, or not necessarily forest bathing, but you can be walking in a park. Aromatherapy, using essential oils, using some oils to massage yourself, talk therapy, hypnosis. So many things that women can do. I don't want to overwhelm, but the best way is to really start with some kind of a chalking out some kind of a daily routine and picking one habit a day or one habit a week, whatever you want to do, and start doing that so that helps you feel better. I did that to myself. I had very embarrassing moments like your wife. Actually, I had a lot of embarrassing moments, not in front of other people. And I was like, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack, or I'm doing, oh, what are people going to think about me? Oh, I was so ashamed. All those anger, frustration, anxiety, depression, you name it, I had it, right? And I didn't want to be on medication. I didn't want to be popping a pill every single day the rest of my life. So that's what I say to women out there, that if you embrace holistic therapies, you will be able to navigate the choppy water, so to speak, and prevent yourself from a chronic condition as you get older.
Ooh, which oils are the best?
Oh, there's so much. So I typically, so there are so many oils that women can use to calm themselves. Like at night, lavender has for helping you sleep. I typically use a sesame oil. It has some kind of a herbs, for massage. Then there's the Ayurveda has a lot of oils that are very helpful for different things. So example, different oils are there for pain, like joint pain. Different oils are there for the hair. This oil called Bhringraj, that oil is very good for women's also start getting hair thinning. Amla, Indian gooseberry oil, that's also very good for your hair thinning. So different oils can be used for on different parts of the body, wherever women want, whether it's on hair or on the face oils. A lot of women use face oils nowadays, and on body, like I talked about, the massage oil. I typically use the sesame oil to massage myself every single day, or coconut oil. That one that doesn't have the fragrant, you can use that. Almond oil, you can use that. So it depends on what a person's preferences, but there's so many different oils women can use, and it helps a lot to calm yourself.
Our fun is fighting over the thermostat because when I'm hot, she's cold, and when I'm cold, she's hot.
Oh my God. She's probably having hot flashes or night sweats. I mean, that's what's happening. She's having all these hot flashes. I'm assuming, right? Or night sweats. Like she's sweating at night, and she's like, oh my God. And she probably can't sleep at night. And then she wakes up in the morning because she hasn't had a good sleep. And then she's a little bit like not as sharp, so to speak. There's a science that talks about if you don't sleep well at night, you're not going to be sharp in the morning, and your productivity goes down, and your mood can also, it's all connected, right? Your mood can also go down, up and down accordingly. So it's a vicious cycle here we are talking about. But she should incorporate some of the pranayama, breathing exercises to calm herself, especially for hot flashes and night sweats. Even at night, she can use some of the restorative breathing exercises that will help her calm down. And I talked about the oils. So these are just simple things. There's a lot of science behind so many things that I can go on, but we are strapped for time today, 20, 30 minutes. But these are simple things. And also having some cooling foods, right? I don't know what kind of diet she's eating. She should get rid of the processed food completely and and replenish it with all the nourishing foods inside her body. That helps a lot. And I'm not a medical doctor. I'm just sharing with you the research that I have done, and also what I did to myself to help me through this entire journey of perimenopause, and which people get, oh my God, I'm losing my mind. Yes, you could be, but if you start doing all these things, it will help you. So give her this thing and try, and let me know what works.
It's weird because this is a natural part of life, but yet we make it almost a taboo type subject. But it's something that we really should talk about. I'm a guy, but I want to accommodate for my wife. I'm not such a hard butt that I'm not sympathetic. So, what can us guys do to help out our wives, our girlfriends?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to me, that's a huge step, right? You're trying to understand what's going on behind the scenes in the sense like, you're right. So guys, really, I think talk therapy, open communication with your partner could be very important. Trying to understand, this is a natural phase of a woman's life and she's going to go through it. But if, like I talked about earlier, that guy can encourage their partners to really embrace some of the holistic therapies to help them talk it out, maybe get some therapy like even cognitive behavioral therapy, that they're not holding any emotions, being very open about the kind of symptoms that she's going through. Every woman is going to have different type of symptoms, and not that we're talking about it can also impact relationships, because sometimes the sexual health also takes a back seat because a woman is going through so much and her libido can go down, or she's all those things can also happen. But in our society we think it's a taboo, we don't talk about it, right? We feel ashamed to talk about it. We feel, oh my god, I'm going to be judged. So I think a guy can really encourage a woman, be very patient with her and encourage her to talk whatever is going on. She might not even tell you these things are going on in her body, that she feels like, oh my God, I should not talk to my husband or my partner or whatever. So you can support her by understanding what is going on, what kind of what kind of issues she's facing, and she will talk to you and then help her get some help in whatever help she needs, right? Um, so because this is like you said, this is a natural phase of every woman's life. Even men go through their hormones going up and down. It's not that men are completely devoid of all these issues, right? I'm sure.
I'm very lucky and blessed that we have that kind of relationship where we can talk. But there's guys out there that, neither one of them, or the wife or the husband or the girlfriend or the boyfriend, realize that's what's going on. So the arguments happen.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Look at the data. Gray divorce is going up, right? We read it in a lot of newspapers. Also in UK, they did a study. 60% of the divorce in UK are happening to menopausal women because lack of, like you said, they split up. There's not open communication. If there is a problem that's happening, maybe they're not seeking help, or all those things. It's a very very common things that's we know in the research, and we don't talk enough about it. And just the fact that you and I are talking about it, we are even scared to use the word sexual health sometimes, because we said, oh my god, what the heck is going to happen, right? Sometimes we get scared to talk about all this, but it's absolutely okay and normal to talk about these issues when a couple is facing.
Just imagine the people that were going through that during lockdown.
Oh my god.
I know divorces really rose during that time. I mean, you're together whether you want to be or not, and before you know it, there's once again the arguing, that kind of thing. And uh, why don't we or get more education on that, even at a young age? Like when we were in school, why don't they really talk about that? I mean, they might talk about, oh, you're going to go through puberty and you're going to go through this, but they don't discuss it. Maybe if we talked a little bit more openly about it, we wouldn't have as many problems as we have.
You're absolutely right. I don't, the interesting thing is, which is completely like, I couldn't believe it, even in medical schools, forget about the early on, what you are talking about, the high school, right? At least, the kids understand at that time what the biology is of a woman and a man. We are taught at that time. But even in medical schools, the medical doctors are not really educated in their curriculum about this phase of a woman's and a man's life. I have talked to so many gynecologists, so many medical doctors, that it's not part of the curriculum, which is shocking in a way. And so they are focused more on the fertility part of the reproductive part of a man and a woman's body. And that's exactly what we are focusing on in high schools, a reproductive system, right? We talked about I remember reading, learning about the reproductive system. And then after that, there's not another chapter, loss of reproductive system or whatever they want to call it, right?
Right.
I mean, I'm just trying to make it funny, but it could be an interesting way the kids are taught about how the reproductive system is going to finally shut down, making it very easy for them to understand the process of shutting down is all biological, so that young men understand that's what's going to happen to their bodies, and also, to a woman's body when they start dating or whatever, and as they start getting older. Now, the problem is, like, you're absolutely right. We are not educated about this. I was not too. And nobody understands, very few people understand this whole phase. And we are like, oh my God, what the heck is happening? And then you talk about the arguments, you talk about the lack of communication, people not trying to understand each other, and before you know it, there's a big D happening, right? I mean, it didn't happen overnight, but it happens over a certain period of time. But all these hormones are changing in both of our bodies, a man and a woman.
Do you remember that show, All in the Family?
Oh, yeah.
It just occurred to me that there was an episode where Edith Bunker was going through the change. And I can still remember Archie going, well, come on, hurry up and change.
I know.
It doesn't work that way, but we should have more education. Are there some kind of groups or anything out there that men and women can be a part of?
Well, there are a lot of Facebook groups. I would say that, but these are closed groups generally. That's what I'm trying to do through NourishDoc, is a platform where women can, we have, even men can, but the way it is designed is the women can understand what is going to go in your body, the changes, and then what can they do to help themselves. So there are a lot of Facebook groups women can join. Typically, I don't think there's anything that I have come across for men, education for men yet. Again, it's all women join in and they rant about it. Oh my God, I'm this, I'm that, I'm going through this. So these are just informal Facebook groups that I have seen. There's nothing formal. What you see nowadays, to answer your that are coming up, but they're mainly talking about hormonal therapy. Like, okay, you tell me you are hot flash, you have, as an example, anxiety. Then you talk to a gynecologist, and a gynecologist would prescribe you a medication of a hormonal replacement therapy or progesterone or whatever. So there are companies that are out there that is your typical medical interaction between a doctor and a patient. But what we are trying to do is a little bit different. I'm not trying to say that the medication is wrong, but there are a lot of other things, the self-care, the holistic therapies, the mind-body connection, all those things, the positive thoughts, learning to cope up with that can be done by embracing holistic therapies, by changing your lifestyle, which people don't understand. That's what the problem is.
Most doctors, they just want to toss a pill at you for everything, and it's a Band-Aid. It's not really taking care of, I mean, it's, pardon my words here, but the part of the problem, because it can be a problem between men and women if they don't understand what's going on. And the guy needs to be understanding, but then the woman, I think, should be a little understanding. This guy's he doesn't know what's going on. 1 minute you're with this happy-go-lucky person, and the next minute she's throwing something at you, or she's crying in the corner, and a guy's confused. So there has to be understanding on both sides.
You're absolutely right. See, first of all, think about it. A woman herself is oblivious of the fact that before she hits menopause, which is 50, 51, as we talked about, she has to start going through this probably 10 years before. And she doesn't know. most of the women, if you talk to an average woman on the street, she is perimenopause. What the heck is that, right? I talk to so many of them. She herself is caught off guard of all these strange things that start happening to her mind and the body. And so the step number one is we need to educate her. And then she needs to understand what she doesn't understand what's going on to her body. How the heck her husband or boyfriend or partner, how the heck he's going to understand? There's no way, right?
Right. Well, it all boils down to communication.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So what is your website?
It's called www.nourishdoc.com.
Mhm.
We are coming out with the app within this month, a very simple, affordable app where women can download. And it's going to be priced $5-6 a month. And what it's going to have is it's all evidence-based holistic therapies collected from international experts from all over the world that women can start understanding what perimenopause is, menopause, postmenopause, and also start taking some actionable, simple, actionable daily habits. They can start forming them. That's what we're trying to do. And then if they want to talk to a naturopath or a OBG functional medicine doctor, we have that ability. But the first step is to really understanding and doing self-care. And then the second step is, yes, understanding more from the experts, different things that's going on. We talk about the sexual health, the sleep, the mood swings, the hot flashes. So, Kyle, we were talking about all these symptoms, right? A woman goes through, and she's oblivious of the fact that she has something called perimenopause. That is one of the issues that after talking to over 3,000, 4,000 experts and women I talked about. So the first step is to really educate them that they might be going through 10 years before what they call as perimenopause. And that's what we are trying to do in our app. Through NourishDoc, keeping it super affordable. We're trying to educate women about perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause. There's 3 different stages. Understanding that and taking some actionable actions in their daily routine to help themselves navigate this journey, with knowledge, and also embracing holistic therapies. So that's really the intent of making it super affordable, using evidence-based data from international experts, so that each and every woman, depending on which stage she is in, she can start learning and doing something about it.
So whenever something new comes along, you'll be able to put it on the app?
Absolutely. Right now, the way we have it is we have divided it into 2 different phases, perimenopause and postmenopause. Menopause is just one day, right? If a woman hasn't had her menstrual periods for 12 months, she's technically in menopause or postmenopause. And then within that, we talked about so many symptoms that she can go through. So based on the symptoms, we have little things. I talked about breathing, I talked about diet, I talked about oils, all these things, depending on the symptoms that she's going through, she can take some of these self-care techniques and start applying it. And now if she needs help, like a one-on-one, or she needs to talk to someone, then we will have that as well available.
Whenever a woman is going through, before she goes into menopause, can it make her menstrual cycle really throw it off? Like maybe she might go a couple of months without it, and then all of a sudden she has it, and maybe there are 2 weeks in between instead of a month.
That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. And thank you. As a guy asking these questions and bringing it out in the open, I'm so thankful. That's exactly what happens is in perimenopause, the first symptom is irregular menstrual cycle for a woman. And it can be shorter, like you just said. And as she starts inching towards the menopause, it goes further along, meaning after 3 months, it can happen, or maybe 4 months, because remember, we talked about 12 months consecutive, and then she's in menopause. So as maybe few years before, 2-3 years before, she might have it after 2 months or 3 months or 4 months or 5 months or 6 months or whatever. That's what happened to me. And then suddenly, boom, finished. You are in menopause, right? Technically that. But earlier, when she starts a perimenopause, it could be shorter, like instead of a 28-day cycle, it could be 21 day or 15 days. So now you can imagine a woman's menstrual health is changing. Instead of a 28-day normal cycle, she's having all these irregularities that can definitely impact her mind as well as physical body, because that goes without saying, and that's what's happening to all the women who are going through perimenopause, all because of the irregularity of this menstrual health or menstrual cycle. There's so many symptoms that are creeping up on them, which they're not able to cope up, and because they are themselves not aware that this is going to start happening to them years, not months, years before they hit menopause. That is the key.
And what is your social media?
So it's Nourish_Doc. That's on Insta. And then we are on Facebook and LinkedIn. These are the three social networks that we are very, very active, and even YouTube as well.
I will put all of your links in the description just to make it easier for folks to find you. But Amita, thank you so much for coming on. This has been enlightening.
Thank you. I hope it helps, and you can share some of the information with your wife and she starts feeling better.
Again, thank you. And I also want to thank all you folks out there. If you are new to the channel, I hope you'll come back. Please hit that subscribe button for my regulars. You guys are awesome because you make it possible for me to do this. Until the next one, everyone, please take care. Be kind to one another. God bless and peace.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Listen to the Vibes. You can catch us on Buzzsprout or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, and on YouTube. Follow us on Facebook at The Vibes Broadcast Network